You're not awkward. You're not antisocial. You're just disconnected from your own presence. Social flow isn't about charm. It's not about saying the perfect line. It's about alignment, when your thoughts, emotions, and words finally move in the same direction. The people who seem effortlessly likable aren't trying harder. They're simply more in tune. This is your reprogramming. The end of overthinking. The beginning of flow. Chapter 1. Stop performing, start being. You've been performing your whole life. Performing to fit in. Performing to be liked. Performing to prove that you belong. But performance kills connection. Because people can feel when you're trying. They can sense the tension in your tone. The hesitation in your eyes. The invisible pressure in your body language. And the harder you perform, the more they pull away. Authenticity is presence. And presence begins when the act ends. You've been conditioned to believe that social success is a performance. Smile right. Say the perfect line. Stand this way. Laugh that way. Fit the image. But that's not connection. That's choreography. And nobody trusts choreography. They trust congruence. They trust alignment. They trust energy that doesn't contradict itself. You don't need to impress people. You need to connect with people. That's the key. You can't connect when your mind is in the mirror watching yourself. You can only connect when you're present, when your attention is on them, not on you. You have a choice. You can perform or you can be present. You can try to appear confident or you can actually feel confident. One creates stress. The other creates flow. Think about the people you admire socially. They're not performing. They're just there. Rooted, unrushed, unbothered. Their confidence comes from acceptance, not approval. They're not proving. They're expressing. That's the difference. That's what makes them magnetic. Stop performing. Start being. Say it out loud. Say it slowly. Feel the rhythm of it. Stop performing. Start being. Because the world doesn't respond to who you pretend to be. It responds to who you are when you stop pretending. Let's break this down. When you walk into a room, your energy speaks first. Before you say a word, people read your body language. They sense your comfort or your tension. They don't listen to your words, they listen to your nervous system. If you're performing, your body tells the truth. Your shoulders tighten. Your breathing shortens. Your gestures become calculated. You start editing yourself in real time. And that creates disconnection. Because people can't relax around someone who isn't relaxed. You teach others how to feel around you. If you're tense, they're tense. If you're at ease, they relax. That's the real influence. Confidence isn't noise. It's neutrality. It's ease. It's quiet power. Stop chasing the image of confidence. Start building the experience of it. That's the shift. You don't need to act interesting. You need to be interested. You don't need to act confident. You need to be clear. You don't need to say more. You need to mean more. When you perform, you lose your authenticity. When you're authentic, you gain your presence. Presence is when your words, your tone, and your intention are all moving in the same direction. That's flow. That's what draws people in. Think about this. Have you ever listened to someone speak who wasn't technically smooth, but you couldn't look away? Maybe their tone was calm. Maybe their eyes didn't wander. Maybe they were just real. That's presence. And presence always beats technique. You can practice all the scripts, memorize all the lines, study all the social hacks. But if your energy isn't congruent, it won't land. People don't remember your words. They remember how they felt around you. That's the truth. So how do you stop performing? Start by noticing the moments when you shift. You know that instant, when someone walks in and you suddenly adjust? You fix your posture. You change your tone. You start trying. That's the performance beginning. Catch it. Pause it. Breathe. Inhale deeply. Drop your shoulders. Come back to your body. Remind yourself, I don't need to prove anything. You don't need their permission to be at peace. You don't need their approval to be real. You just need to be here now. When you release the performance, you free your attention. And when your attention is free, connection becomes effortless. That's the paradox of social flow. The less you try, the more natural you become. The more you let go, the more magnetic you feel. Because authenticity doesn't seek validation. It radiates truth. Here's a truth to remember. Connection is not earned through perfection. It's earned through presence. You don't need the perfect response. You need a genuine one. Say it again, stop performing. Start being. People crave authenticity because it's rare. In a world obsessed with looking right, sounding right, posting right, being real is revolutionary. When you're real, you give others permission to be real. You create psychological safety. And that's the foundation of trust. You don't build trust by impressing people. You build trust by being consistent in your energy. Calm, grounded, honest. That's what makes people lean in. That's what makes you memorable. So, from this moment forward, choose authenticity over approval. Choose being over performing. Choose flow over force. Every time you catch yourself rehearsing, redirect that energy into listening. Every time you feel the urge to prove, redirect it into observing. Every time you want to sound right, redirect it into being real. You have a choice. And every choice builds identity. Stop performing. Start being. Let this phrase echo in your mind. Repeat it until it becomes muscle memory. Until it becomes who you are. Because the moment you stop performing, your body relaxes. Your voice deepens. Your energy stabilizes. You stop chasing reactions and start creating resonance. That's the shift from social fear to social flow. That's the moment you stop being the actor and start being the author. You're not here to perform for the world. You're here to move through it, grounded, calm, and real. And that's what makes you magnetic. Not perfection. Not charm. Not effort. Just truth. Remember this, social mastery doesn't come from being impressive. It comes from being aligned. Alignment is the new charisma. Congruence is the new confidence. Presence is the new power. Stop performing. Start being. That's the beginning of flow. You've mastered the art of authenticity. Now let's take that presence and turn it into influence. Because presence creates energy, and energy creates trust. Get ready to learn how others mirror your internal state. How the world reflects exactly how you feel about yourself. Let's go deeper. Chapter 2. The Social Mirror. People reflect how you feel about yourself. You walk into a room and people notice. Not what you say. Not how you look. Not the words you carefully chose. They notice your energy. Your presence writes the first line of every social script. It sets the tone. It dictates the flow. And most people don't realize it, because they are too busy trying to perform themselves. Here's the truth. Others don't see who you are. They feel how you feel about yourself. They mirror you. They always mirror you. Yes. Every single interaction begins with reflection. You show up tense, they tighten. You show up anxious, they mirror the uncertainty. You show up calm, they relax. You show up confident, they lean in. They mirror you. They always mirror you. Energy is contagious. It moves faster than words. It bypasses intellect. It hits the gut. And the moment you understand this, social dynamics stop being random, they become predictable. You have a choice. You can show up fragmented, distracted, insecure, or you can show up aligned, grounded, and composed. That choice sets the tone for everyone in the room. Let me give you a simple example. Imagine walking into a meeting. Your shoulders are tense. Your mind is racing. You're rehearsing what to say. Every micro-expression broadcasts your anxiety. People adjust. They become cautious, reserved, close. Now imagine walking into the same meeting differently. Shoulders relaxed, breath steady, mind focused on the present, eyes soft. Your energy is calm certainty. People adjust. They mirror your state. They lean in. They become open. See the difference? Your internal state creates the external experience. Your energy writes the script. You have a choice. You can't control what others say. You can't control what they think. But you can control the energy you bring. And that is influence. That is power. That is the social mirror at work. This is not theory. This is not fluff. It is physics. Emotional physics. Energy always moves. Energy always reflects. Energy always mirrors. They mirror you. They always mirror you. Stop waiting for people to change. Stop waiting for approval. Stop waiting for acceptance. Start with yourself. The moment you master your internal state, the external state adjusts automatically. You want connection? Start with alignment. You want trust? Start with calm certainty. You want influence? Start with stability within. It's simple, but it's not easy. You are trained to react. You are trained to chase attention. You are trained to seek approval. And that creates chaos. Reactivity invites reactivity. Anxiety breeds anxiety. Fear attracts fear. The mirror doesn't lie. It doesn't negotiate. It simply reflects. And if you understand the rules, you can design your interactions before a word is spoken. Let's break this down further. First, notice your internal signals. Breathing, heart rate, tension in your body, thoughts racing or calm. These are the colors you paint within the social canvas. Next, adjust. Slow your breath. Relax your muscles. Anchor your attention to the present. Shift from reactive to reflective. You don't need to force charm. You don't need to script your behavior. You just need to stabilize your state. People will follow. Always. Here's a real-world behavioral instruction you can practice right now. Before entering any social situation, pause. Take 3 deep breaths. Check your posture. Relax your face. Anchor your energy to calm certainty. Now step into the room. Observe. Notice how people respond. Notice how tension melts. Notice how conversation flows. They mirror you. They always mirror you. This is also why high performers in any social setting appear magnetic. They don't speak first. They feel first. They calibrate. They center. Then they engage. Their energy is steady, and others unconsciously sync to that rhythm. Repetition is key here. Internalize this phrase, they mirror you. They always mirror you. Say it. Think it. Live it. Every social interaction becomes predictable when you own your internal state. Let's address a common mistake. Many people believe they need to perform to control outcomes. They dress a certain way. They rehearse jokes. They prepare lines. All of that is external. All of that is superficial. And the mirror doesn't respond to surface. The mirror responds to depth. Depth is internal alignment. Depth is emotional stability. Depth is being grounded in yourself, regardless of the chaos around you. You don't need to impress. You don't need to dominate. You don't need to manipulate. You need to align. And alignment is simple: calm mind, open heart, centered body. When all 3 converge, your energy radiates. People reflect it. People follow it. People trust it. Remember, social mastery is not about controlling others. It is about controlling the energy you bring. You have a choice. You can react or you can reflect. You can perform or you can align. You can chase approval or you can radiate certainty. They mirror you. They always mirror you. This is also the foundation for influence, persuasion, and connection. When your internal state is calm, your words land. When your internal state is steady, your gestures resonate. When your internal state is confident, trust is automatic. And here's the final lesson for this chapter. Every interaction starts inside you. Every response begins with your energy. Every connection is a reflection of your inner state. You can't fake this. You can't outsource it. You can't cheat the mirror. You must cultivate it. You must anchor it. You must live it. Practice this daily. Step into every room and notice the mirror. Notice the reflection. Adjust yourself first, and then watch how effortless social flow becomes. They mirror you. They always mirror you. You've now mastered the mirror principle. You've learned that connection starts with internal state. You've seen that energy moves before words. Next, we'll explore how to regulate that energy consistently. How to create calm certainty in yourself regardless of circumstances. Because mastering your energy is the real key to magnetic influence. Chapter 3: The Power of Emotional Calibration. Your emotions are not random. They are signals. They are instruments. They are the compass guiding every interaction, every decision, every connection you make. And most people ignore them. They push them aside. They react impulsively. They let fear, anger, or anxiety dictate their behavior. But here's the truth. Emotional chaos destroys influence. Emotional discipline creates power. It's not about suppressing what you feel. It's about regulating it. That's the difference between reacting and responding. Calm is control. Control is connection. Say it again. Calm is control. Control is connection. Let that sink in. Think of the calm leader. Not the loud one. Not the flashy one. Not the person trying to dominate the room. The calm one. The person whose voice doesn't tremble under pressure. The person who never overreacts, even when chaos surrounds them. That person earns respect effortlessly. They don't ask for it. They don't demand it. They simply embody it. Calm is control. Control is connection. Emotional calibration is the skill of noticing your internal state and adjusting it before it controls your actions. It's about recognizing the rising tension, the creeping frustration, the flutter of insecurity, and choosing your response. Here's the first step: awareness. Notice your triggers. Notice the physical sensations: tight shoulders, quickened heartbeat, shallow breath. Name them. Acknowledge them. You can't regulate what you don't notice. You have a choice. You can let your emotions hijack your interactions, or you can use them as a guide. You can escalate the chaos, or you can anchor calmness. Calm is control. Control is connection. Let's get practical. Imagine you're in a tense meeting. Someone challenges you aggressively. Your first instinct might be to match their volume, to assert dominance, to prove your point. That's the performance trap. That's the reaction trap. And it never works in your favor. Instead, pause. Breathe. Anchor yourself. Let your tone lower naturally. Let your gestures slow. Let your presence become stable. Watch what happens. The room shifts. People mirror your calm. The tension decreases. The conversation becomes constructive instead of combative. Calm is control. Control is connection. Emotional calibration also means noticing subtle energy shifts in others. A slight frown. A tightening jaw. A nervous glance. These are cues. Signals. Data points. Your ability to remain calm while observing these cues gives you an extraordinary advantage. You are no longer at the mercy of the room, you are shaping it. This is why great leaders and influential communicators are rarely loud. They are rarely dramatic. They are rarely performing. They are steady, predictable, centered. People instinctively trust them. People instinctively follow them. You have a choice. You can react with emotional chaos, or you can respond with calm authority. Every single interaction is an opportunity to practice this. Let's talk about a practical method, the 3-second anchor. Before you respond to anyone, a friend, a colleague, a stranger, pause for 3 seconds. Breathe. Ground your energy. Feel your center. Now speak. Even a tiny pause changes the trajectory of the interaction. It's not about being robotic. It's not about suppressing emotion. It's about directing it. You have a choice. Every emotional response is a decision. You are the conductor of your inner orchestra. You set the tempo. You control the rhythm. And the world dances to it. Calm is control. Control is connection. Now, consider this. Emotional calibration isn't just about handling tension. It's about maximizing positive states too. Joy, enthusiasm, curiosity, these can be amplified or diminished depending on how you regulate your focus. A leader who radiates genuine curiosity draws people in. A person who radiates composure inspires confidence. Repetition reinforces mastery. Calm is control. Control is connection. Calm is control. Control is connection. Let it echo in your mind. Let it shape your energy. Let it become a habit. Real-world example. Think of a manager handling a heated client call. The client yells. The stakes are high. Most people would panic. Not the calibrated leader. They listen. They regulate. They respond with clarity. By the end of the call, the client is satisfied. Respect is earned. Influence is established. All because emotional energy was managed, not suppressed. You see, mastery of emotions is mastery of influence. It's not about being the loudest voice. It's about being the anchor. The room doesn't have to follow your words. It follows your state. You have a choice. You can fuel emotional chaos, or you can lead through emotional mastery. Start small. Notice your baseline energy each morning. Adjust when it's off. Notice your reactions during conversations. Pause and recalibrate. Notice the shift in others. Calm is control. Control is connection. Repetition here is not redundant. It's deliberate. Say it. Feel it. Live it. Calm is control. Control is connection. When your emotional state is stable, social flow becomes effortless. Your presence becomes magnetic. Your words land with authority. Your connections deepen naturally. This is the real secret most people overlook. It's not technique. It's not charm. It's your energy calibrated. It's your internal state anchored. It's your emotions under command. You have a choice. You can react or you can respond. You can be swept away or you can guide the current. Every interaction is a test. Every moment is an opportunity. And the rule is simple. Calm is control. Control is connection. Master this principle. Repeat it daily. Anchor it in your mind and body. Because once you do, influence, trust, and connection follow effortlessly. You've learned how emotions lead every interaction. You've seen the power of regulation over suppression. You've experienced the calm leader principle. Now it's time to take control of your social energy consistently. To turn this calm into an unshakable habit. To anchor presence in every conversation. Next, we will explore the art of listening deeply, how paying attention like you mean it turns every interaction into trust and connection. Chapter 4. The subtle art of listening like you mean it. Listening is presence in motion. Most people think social mastery is about speaking. They believe it's about impressing. They believe it's about saying the right thing at the right time. But here's the truth. People crave to be seen more than they crave to be impressed. They want to feel understood. They want to feel acknowledged. They want someone present enough to hear them completely. Listen deeper than they speak. Say it slowly. Say it often. Listen deeper than they speak. True listening is a skill. It's not passive. It's active. It's deliberate. When you listen like this, you create connection effortlessly. You create trust without trying. You create influence without speaking. Here's the first step. Stop planning your response while they're talking. Stop thinking about what you're going to say next. Stop rehearsing your clever comment. Focus entirely on them. Listen deeper than they speak. Notice their words. Notice the pauses. Notice the energy behind every phrase. Notice what they don't say. Silence is information. Tone is information. Emotion is information. Most people miss these cues. They jump in, give advice, interrupt, or shift the topic. They perform listening instead of actually listening. And that destroys connection. You have a choice. You can hear the words or you can feel the meaning. You can skim the surface or you can dive deep. Listen deeper than they speak. Here's a practical exercise. Ask fewer questions but mean every one of them. Not generic questions. Not filler questions. Questions that show curiosity, focus, and presence. For example, instead of asking, "How was your day?" ask, "What part of your day made you feel most alive?" Instead of, "Did you have a good weekend?" ask, "What moment this weekend made you feel proud of yourself?" Notice the difference. One invites thoughtless responses. The other opens a door. The other builds trust. The other shows you are truly present. Listen deeper than they speak. Repetition is your tool here. Say it internally. Let it guide your energy. Say it as a mantra before every conversation. Listen deeper than they speak. Now let's talk about the energy of listening. When someone talks, they are vulnerable. They are showing pieces of themselves. Your attention is the most valuable thing you can offer. Your stillness, your focus, your undivided presence. It's magnetic. Most people try to impress. Most people try to speak louder, faster, smarter. But when you just listen, you become rare. You become magnetic. You become trusted. Listen deeper than they speak. Here's another principle. Less is more. You don't need to respond to every word. You don't need to fill every pause. Silence creates space for thought, reflection, and emotion. Your restraint signals confidence. Your presence signals authenticity. Let me give you a real-world example. A friend is sharing a struggle. Most people react with advice immediately. The friend may feel dismissed or unheard. But if you pause, nod, and allow them to fully express, trust unfolds naturally. Your energy says, I am here. I see you. I hear you. You don't need to speak. You just need to be present. Listen deeper than they speak. And here's the crucial part. The mirror principle from the previous chapter works hand in hand with listening. When you are calm, your presence steadies them. When you are attentive, your energy amplifies their trust. When you truly listen, the world reflects back openness, connection, and respect. You have a choice. You can talk more or you can listen more. You can dominate the conversation or you can guide it subtly through presence. You can perform or you can be present. Listen deeper than they speak. Another powerful tool is reflective listening. Repeat key phrases in your own words. Clarify emotions. Confirm understanding. Not to prove you're smart. Not to impress. But to show you are engaged. For example, they sound frustrated by that situation. Are you saying it feels unfair to you? This mirrors their emotion. Validates their experience. Reinforces trust. Repetition again. Listen deeper than they speak. And this isn't just about social situations. It's about influence everywhere. Work, family, friendships, negotiations. The person who listens like they mean it is the one who commands attention. Not through loudness. Not through ego. Through presence. Through calm authority. Through understanding. Notice something. Listening doesn't make you weak. Listening makes you strong. It gives you the upper hand without force. It builds influence quietly. It creates loyalty effortlessly. You have a choice. You can interrupt. You can compete for attention. Or you can slow down. Anchor yourself. And let others mirror your presence while you listen. Listen deeper than they speak. Remember, the goal is not to fix, advise, or correct. The goal is to witness. The goal is to be present. The goal is to allow them to unfold naturally in your attention. The people who master this are magnetic because they validate existence. They signal, you matter. I am here. You are seen. Nothing impresses more than that. Nothing connects deeper than that. So start now. In your next conversation, choose presence over performance. Choose listening over speaking. Choose depth over noise. Repeat internally, listen deeper than they speak. Repeat aloud when necessary, listen deeper than they speak. Anchor it in your mind, listen deeper than they speak. You've learned that true social mastery begins with attention. You've learned that presence matters more than words. You've learned that people crave to be seen, not impressed. Now let's take this principle further. Next, we'll explore the art of spontaneity, how to respond in the moment without scripts, without overthinking, and still create flow in every interaction. Chapter 5. Drop the script. The power of spontaneity. Most people believe social success is a script. They rehearse. They plan. They overthink. They memorize lines, perfect jokes, and polish every word. And what happens? Anxiety skyrockets. Flow disappears. Social anxiety thrives on over-preparation. Flow thrives on surrender. Let that sink in. Stop scripting. Start responding. Say it slowly. Let it echo in your mind. Stop scripting. Start responding. Here's the truth. No amount of preparation can predict every interaction. Life doesn't follow your script. People don't follow your expectations. And when your mind is stuck in rehearsed lines, your body is tense, your presence is brittle, and your energy feels forced. The audience can feel it. The other person can feel it. Your nervous system can feel it. And connection dies before it even begins. Stop scripting. Start responding. Flow isn't about saying the right thing. Flow is about feeling the moment and allowing your words and energy to match it. Flow is about responding from your center, not your rehearsal. Flow is about being present, not performing. You have a choice. You can overthink, or you can anchor yourself. You can control your energy. You can respond. Stop scripting. Start responding. Here's an example. Imagine you're at a party. You've prepared a clever anecdote. You've practiced it in the mirror. You've timed the punchline. Then someone interrupts with something unexpected. What do most people do? They panic. They stumble. They force the anecdote anyway. Connection collapses. Energy drains. But a spontaneous responder? They pause. They inhale. They feel the energy. They respond naturally. They comment on the new topic. They adjust their tone, their gestures, their timing. And suddenly, flow returns. The interaction feels effortless. The connection feels real. Stop scripting. Start responding. Spontaneity isn't random. It's disciplined. It's not chaos. It's awareness. It's presence. It's a skill cultivated by people who are comfortable with themselves. Here's a step-by-step method to practice. Anchor your attention in the present. Notice your breathing. Relax your muscles. Scan the energy in the room. Respond to the stimulus, not the script. Notice what the other person is saying and feeling. Match their energy naturally. Trust your instincts. You already know what to say. Your nervous system knows. Your body knows. Let it guide you. Stop scripting. Start responding. Remember, every interaction is dynamic. Scripts fail because they can't account for unpredictability. Flow succeeds because it adapts in real time. Now let's talk about nervousness. Many people fear spontaneity because it feels uncontrolled. They worry they'll say the wrong thing, look awkward, or be judged. That's fear talking. That's the ego trying to control the uncontrollable. And that's exactly what kills connection. Stop scripting. Start responding. Spontaneity doesn't require perfection. It requires presence. It requires awareness. It requires trust in yourself. Here's another example. You're in a networking situation. Someone asks, "What do you do?" Instead of delivering a memorized pitch, pause. Observe the person. Sense the energy. Respond honestly. Maybe you highlight one aspect of your work that feels most relevant in that moment. Maybe you inject a little humor, a little curiosity. Feels real. Feels alive. And the other person mirrors that energy. Connection is effortless. Stop scripting. Start responding. Let's integrate all the principles you've learned so far. Chapter 1. Stop performing, start being. Anchor your authenticity. Chapter 2. People mirror your energy. Control your state. Chapter 3. Emotional calibration leads every interaction. Stay calm. Stay grounded. Chapter 4. Listen deeper than they speak. Presence is your tool. Now Chapter 5 brings them together. Stop rehearsing. Stop overthinking. Stop trying to be perfect. Step into the moment. Anchor your energy. Listen. Respond. Flow naturally. Stop scripting. Start responding. Here's a practical exercise to embed this skill. Choose a low-stakes social situation today. Enter without a script, without a line prepared. Focus entirely on your presence, your energy, and the other person. Respond to what unfolds, not what you planned. Observe the shift in the interaction. Note the trust, the openness, the natural rhythm. You have a choice. You can over-prepare. You can control every word. You can force approval. Or you can trust yourself. You can trust the moment. You can trust the flow. Stop scripting. Start responding. Flow is magnetic because it is authentic. Flow is powerful because it is grounded. Flow is effortless because it is aligned with your state. Social anxiety disappears when you stop performing and start being. Connection multiplies when you stop scripting and start responding. Confidence radiates when your energy is anchored, not rehearsed. This is the final piece of the puzzle. This is the chapter where preparation meets presence. This is where discipline becomes effortless. This is where you step into the room fully, calm, grounded, present, responsive. And here's the challenge. The next time you feel the urge to overplan, to memorize, to perform, pause. Anchor yourself. Breathe. Feel the energy around you. Respond. Flow. Adapt. Connect. Stop scripting. Start responding. When you live by this principle, everything else falls into place. Presence becomes your magnet. Energy becomes your guide. Connection becomes effortless. You become unforgettable without trying. You've learned to stop performing. You've learned to mirror your energy. You've learned to calibrate your emotions. You've learned to listen deeply. Now you've learned to surrender to flow. Stop scripting. Start responding. Anchor it. Practice it. Live it. This is the power of spontaneous, authentic social mastery. This is the art of social flow. And from this moment on, you are no longer performing for others. You are present for yourself. And presence always wins. You are ready. Go. Flow. Connect. Respond.